to our annual update and awards celebration. It is one of our very favorite nights of the year, and we are just so excited to be able to celebrate all of you this evening. This tonight would not be possible without our exhibitors, and we want to thank AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Takeda for their sponsorship of tonight's event. And I hope you all had the chance to talk with them before you came into the room tonight, so thank you all. People that are not in the room with us in other states watching, and then for those of you that registered, you can see, it's just some of who is in the room. We had a reception tonight for our survivors right before the program began at 6 o'clock. And we also had a reception with some of our researchers right out here. So just really happy to have representation from all the different groups who are part of Lung Cancer Initiative here with us tonight. So tonight, as I said, it's a celebration of you, and it's a celebration of the impact that you're making. It's a celebration of the action that you're taking, the education that you're helping us to deliver, the research that you're helping to make possible, partnership among each other and with so many of the wonderful organizations in our community, survivorship. We can't wait to share tonight some of the new things that are coming for our lung cancer survivors this year, and volunteerism, because we cannot do what we do without volunteer support, and you all really enable us to carry out our mission across North Carolina. And so a little by the numbers, I told you, look at your programs, because we've got some wonderful impact numbers in the programs. Last year, we raised more than $1.3 million, and that really enabled a lot of the programming around access, things like gas cards, our patient emergency fund, our research programming, supporting early career researchers, our education that we deliver in communities across the state to the general public and also to providers. And as I said, our survivorship programming. And last year, Cheryl LaCroix joined us as our survivor liaison. And so happy to have her. And we introduced her here at this meeting. And we have really seen our survivorship programming continuing to grow and to really take off. Also last year, we launched our Screening Saves program, and we're excited. Dr. Mehta is going to share a little bit more about what happened last year and what we're planning for this year, but excited about these new initiatives coming online. We have a big income budget for this year, more than $1.6 million. And again, that is taking into account a lot of the things I just shared with you. The screening program, looking at what we can do in survivorship, continuing our research programming. And again, we really are grateful to all of you that help us in carrying out those programs and help us do fundraising so that we're able to do that. And it's now my utmost pleasure to welcome Jim Shegog, who most of you in the room may know. He is the definition of a volunteer. He certainly has a heart and passion for our mission, and I am so grateful that we have the chance to work with him. So Jim, I will turn it over to you.
Welcome, everyone. And it's a room of a lot of familiar faces and maybe some that aren't so familiar to you. I know when I walked into this organization about 10 years ago, I literally knew 2 people. And I always wish that someone said, hey, could we just have a moment to meet our fellow friends that are strangers in this moment, but in the next few moments I get to know them. So I'd like everybody to stand up for a minute. If you've had a little bit of your salad, stand up for a moment. Find somebody you've not met yet.
Mission. So mission is something that you get retinal fatigue over. You close your eyes like looking at a sunset and you still see that vision in your eyes, even though your eyelids are closed. And our mission at LCI is really propelled at every staff meeting by starting with a mission moment. You see, this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And so when we sit down at that staff table, when we talk in our meetings, we always look at what was the win today? What was a mission moment that really exemplified our values and how we're achieving, even in the smallest steps, research, education, and furthering access to programs that help our community. Our vision is to improve the life for all those affected by lung cancer. And that's been an extraordinarily committed goal where we look at everything we're doing and then we throw the deck up in the air about every 5 years and go, what is our strategic plan? Where have we been for the last 5 years? And then where are we going in the future? So we're in that year now. I can't believe, Paige, in 2020, we were actually in this hotel. And it was a much smaller room, and we were planning what do we need to do for the next 5 years to adjust to the world, to listen to our constituents, and to really build a disciplined plan for the next 3 to 5 years. So this coming year, we're going to reach out in a little bit different way. You'll see surveys. We come out to you and ask, what do you think? What are we doing well? What did we not really put on the table? I still remember when survivorship came into play. We said, we've got to do more. As a former social worker on the front line, I said, we need someone who is in the traction of every day and responsive to our community. And look at where we are now. With professionals like Cheryl, it's come an extraordinary way, and that's all been in the last 3 to 4 years. So thank you so much for helping guide this new effort. It really was the realization of just a strategic vision and then a plan, and here you are. So thank you. Does everyone agree, Cheryl? Doing a great job. Focus groups, please participate. We'll have surveys, please participate. It really will write what we need to do for the next 3 to 4 years. You know, values. I see a lot of corporations that simply have posters on the wall, but we don't. We really look at living these values, and the way we live those values is looking at how do we take account of both the failures and successes. It really is a learning organization. It continually looks at how it gets steadily better. We look at the stories, your stories, we try to bring those into the room. Your stories, the narrative of every day, the caretakers, individuals going through lung cancers, their providers, the caretakers. It's all a part of this beautiful mix of stories that have to come alive. And LCI does a great job of amplifying those stories and then hopefully bringing trophies that are, through Jenny and the entire staff, they really bring alive responses that we believe are needed. Professionalism, there's an extraordinary amount of professionalism, and that means you're being agile every day. And I'd like to actually recognize this wonderful staff. Jenny and Alicia, they did a great job. Can we give them a hand? They actually planned this event tonight. These events could look like rodeo, but they make it look like dressage for all you equestrians in the audience. They really smooth everything out to a beautiful orchestration. Could I ask all the staff that are here tonight to stand up, please? Also interns, Brent, Cynthia, Alexis, they've all been here. Are they here tonight as well? We get them in the room. All right, thank you. It wouldn't be possible, you know, when you sit in the building and over at Glenwood, you see what interns bring: energy, refreshed thinking, individuals that are in their early careers, and they are bringing incredible insights. And in fact, they push us. So I want to encourage that. I think that's one of the secret sauce of the LCI. It's actually bringing connections to universities, to young professionals, to say, we don't necessarily have to do it this way. And there's transparency in that sometimes we don't have all the answers. We really welcome their input. Also the group that I'm a part of, the board of directors. And I know Amy Sapal is watching tonight. She couldn't be here, so I'm really speaking in her stead as vice chair. But these are incredible individuals that come from many different walks of life, and they really bring together opinions, professional views, and guidance that we need to really make this beautiful dream of LCI work. Can I ask all my fellow board members to stand up who are here tonight, please? We have executive committee meetings, and we roll up our sleeves and look at where we are with, you know, these are challenging times. And I think what we have is a board that's fully committed to making adjustments, making dreams, and then really working the discipline to make sure it comes true. And I couldn't ask for a better group of colleagues who really put their minds together constantly to recreate the dream of LTI. There's an important part to what we do here, and that's the Giving Hope Society. And society members contribute $1,000 annually in unrestricted cash gifts to the organization. They're really a heartbeat of our constant stakeholders. They come in and they're very involved in programming and financial sourcing. And we're 197 members strong. I think that's the largest we've ever been in our history. And Liz at Henson has been a wonderful, I haven't seen Liz here tonight, but Liz, if you haven't met her, she's a ball of energy. If Liz is going to do it, it will get done. She's one of those people you really want on your team. And so Liz taking on a new role. in the Giving Hope Society liaison. So she'll be reaching out to you and to all interested parties to really say, let's bring this alive and get a core group of supporters for LCI. And I'd be remiss without mentioning that we went to the, in September, to the North Carolina Biotech Center out in RTP. It was a stormy night. Thank God we haven't had a stormy night tonight, but I remember driving an hour and a half from Chapel Hill to get to RTP, which is unheard of. But a lot of people did that. It was kind of that dedication to being there even on a night where the weather wasn't cooperating. And Dr. Clark came in, and I was moved by, he's a clinical researcher extraordinaire, but he talked about the hope that he had for lung cancer treatment. He talked about his doubts and himself as a clinician. And you don't get that conversation every day to get transparency from someone who's in the middle of it. But that's the kind of physicians, that's the kind of clinical input we have. And we all talk to how do we begin to overcome some of those challenges? And we do. And we do. It's my honor now to turn over the podium to Emily Parks, who has been our long committed board member, and she is the board secretary. And she keeps us all straight on the board, I have to say, Emily. And thanks so much for being here and all that you do.
Emily Parks. I am the secretary for the board of directors, and I encountered Lung Cancer Initiative back in 2008. My father was diagnosed with lung cancer, and I immediately was like, wait, what is this? Because you hear about so many other diseases, and you don't hear as much about lung cancer. And so immediately my analytical self went onto the internet and started searching and was shocked by the statistics and the information I was encountering. But luckily I stumbled across Lung Cancer Initiative. Granted, we were a couple of names back at that point in time, but I just really was so welcomed and lovingly embraced by this community and this network of hope and action. As it says, tonight we are celebrating our network of hope and action. And I think that as you listen to Jim speak, he brought out several partners, several groups within our community. I talk to my friends often about how every single one of us is a squad who will lift us up and love us as we are, who will push us to better ourselves, who will act as a sounding board for us to improve, to grow, to level up, and then will help us laugh until we cry. And that's what Lung Cancer Initiative brings to all of us. Whether you are a lung cancer survivor, whether you are an advocate, whether you are a caregiver, whether you are a physician, whether you are a researcher, whether you are someone in an elected position that can help us with policies that will make it easier for those with lung cancer to live longer, better lives, you're part of this network of hope and action. And it really is both hopeful but invigorating and just really a gift to be part of this community. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for the support that you give to each of us every day. As I mentioned, I came to Lung Cancer Initiative in 2008 when my father was diagnosed with lung cancer. And about almost exactly 18 months later, my father passed away. And thankful for everyone in this community. I say to people all the time, I hate that lung cancer came into my life, and I love the fact that it brought Lung Cancer Initiative to me. Because this room is filled with such amazing people, and those that are streaming online, or those that come to our events, or those that contribute to the effort to help those impacted by lung cancer live longer, better lives. Every one of us is part of that community, and that's why. And so, unfortunately, part of this disease is loving those who have been impacted and maybe losing them too soon. There are a lot of us in the room right now who are here because we are honoring those that we lost. Not only did we lose my father in 2010 to lung cancer, we also lost my maternal great aunt to lung cancer in 2015. And I know that I'm not alone in here because that's part of our community to support each other. We celebrate those living with the disease, and we honor and remember those we've lost. But throughout this past year, we have been touched by these angels who have passed before us. And so I would love for us to honor these individuals, but also those who have gone before them, who have battled lung cancer throughout. And if you will join me in a moment of silence to remember these individuals and all of those who are in our hearts at this time. As you are thinking of those who have passed away and we have lost to this disease, we would also like to put something on your calendar. There is a spring remembrance event where we partner with Transitions Life Care to honor and celebrate all of those that we have lost to this disease. All are welcome. Whether you are honoring someone who you cared for, whether you are honoring someone who is an individual you met through our network of hope and action, or you are there to support the loved ones who are remembering their loved ones. We welcome you to be part of this event. It is coming up, as you can see on the screen, May 13th at Transitions Life Care. We ask that you arrive by 5:15. We're trying to get the program started promptly at 5:30. And again, all are welcome. We would love to see each of your smiling faces there that evening. But that again is May 13th. And speaking of our community and our network of hope and action, we are here tonight to honor some amazing rock stars. And it truly is my pleasure to be able to present the first of our Impact Awards this evening. These individuals have made a lasting difference for the lung cancer community, and it truly has been integral to Lung Cancer Initiative for years. These women, these fantastic, fabulous women of Anderson Garrett and Elizabeth Hefner. Elizabeth, I'm gonna try so hard to not say Beth, but I apologize in advance. In 2024, these rock stars took it upon themselves to lead the Lung Cancer Initiative Spring Golf Classic in memory of their dear mother, Susan C. Hicks. Not only did these fabulous females raise more than $50,000 to support other people impacted by lung cancer, they also unified their community by including and recognizing other families. They brought in new sponsors, they brought in new participants. I was really overjoyed and filled with such honor and remembrance and celebration by the in memory of and in honor of signs that they added along the golf course. They really found a way to dial home the why behind our mission and make sure that that was visible to everyone throughout not only the entire golf course, but the entire day for the golf tournament. Their commitment to helping those touched by lung cancer live longer and better lives was on display, not only with the event that they put together, but the people they brought together. It was the right people to be together at the right moment for the right experience. Their passion and leadership have enabled Lung Cancer Initiative's network of support to extend to new families and new partners. So please help join me in recognizing Anderson Garrett and Elizabeth Hefner as recipients of the Lung Cancer Initiative Impact Award. And ladies, please come out.
Thank you. We lost our mom in 2006, met the Lung Cancer Initiative shortly after, and have just really enjoyed working with them. Our mom was one of the most selfless, just generous people we've ever known. And she made an impact wherever she was, on the school board, working at church, in her community. Her presence was known. One of the biggest reasons she was so upset at the end is she wanted to survive so that she could help impact this terrible disease and everyone who was fighting for it. So we took it upon ourselves to do that mission for her with our dad, and fight for her and bring awareness to this terrible disease, and started the Susan C. Hicks Charity.
And I think like so many, or I know everyone in this room tonight, that's why we're here. We just want to make that impact on patients, on caregivers, and all of those that continue to fight. And like my sister said, our dad is very integral in everything that we do to continue to fight. And so we just are super honored and blessed to be here and have seen the progress because of the impact over the last, it's been 19 years now. And I know in this room, we can't wait to see what that impact is going to be over 19 more years too. So thank you.
I'm really excited now to invite Dr. Hirameta up. He is on our board of directors, and he had a vision many, many years ago. And he said, what if we pulled together navigators from a lot of the different hospitals so they could learn from each other and share best practices? And lo and behold, he is now leading our Screening Saves program with Dr. Oliver, and we are doing just that. So he's going to share a little bit about Screening Saves with you and let you know what this program is all about.
For those of you who've been with LCI for a while, this program essentially embodies what LCI is. So like she said, years ago, we had a strategic plan review, but even before that, I kept talking about, hey, we should get into lung cancer screening. LCI has done a lot of advocacy, lung cancer, but we didn't really approach screening as much. And then I brought it up when I came on board. I'm like, we should do lung cancer screening. That'd be great. They took that, they listened. One of the strategic meetings we had, I brought it up again and I said, it'd be great to bring folks together and kind of talk about lung cancer screening all throughout, North Carolina. And sure enough, incredible. They took that, you all worked together, and here we are. I'm happy to talk about like a program that we put together after all that. And it's incredible. That's what LCI does. It takes these just simple thoughts and ideas and just blossoms. It's incredible to see. So just as I said, we came up with this idea of how do you build a lung cancer screening program. And if anybody's a part of the health system, you know, we all try. We all have different ways of doing it. But one of the things we did, end of 2023, we put together, we said, how do you utilize LCI's vast network and connections? How do we pull all that together and bring up kind of a universalized screening program? Let's get rid of the brands and names on buildings and universities and this, and let's just put patients first. And who better to do it than LCI, right? So what we did was we said, well, look, what's the heart and soul of any cancer care center? I'm sure everybody knows it's the nursing navigators. Both patient side, provider side, they're always there. They have their finger on the pulse of all of that. We said, let's get all of the nurse navigators together and let's all learn from each other and see what we need to do to accomplish this. Let's talk to some of our primary care providers and see what's the holdup. Why do our lung cancer screening numbers look so far below other cancer screenings? That's what we did. We sent out surveys to primary care providers, got a lot of great feedback, very consistent feedback. We put together one of the largest navigator meetings of anyone. We essentially had 120 navigators from 48 different institutions that come together and have met at least 4 times already. We meet quarterly. They talk about their programs, what helps, what doesn't, their strengths, weaknesses. Everyone learns from one another. I presented this at a national meeting that talked a lot about lung health and screening, and I brought those numbers up, and I promise you, everybody in the eyes, jaws dropped, because they were all doing very similar programs or something like this. But to put that number together is incredible. Only an LCI could really use their network and put that together. And that's what we did. And they've met now 4 times, 133 attendees. Hey, everybody, they get this feedback from these navigators. They're taking back what they learned from these meetings and started instituting policies in their facilities and already improving their workflows and screening processes. Can't end without saying, you know, thank you to our new hire, Hannah, who's project managing this. Thank you so much. I know you do a lot of the back work. I really appreciate it. It's not enough to strengthen our individual institutions, right? We need to come together. So that was one of the initial things, how do we get, you know, the individual institutions to learn from each other? But now we have to really put all that together. We have to pull our resources, right? So now LCI is going to start creating a site. We're going to pull all of our resources together, educational stuff for providers, primary care providers, for families, patients, and communities. It's going to be the Screening Saves campaign, right? Screening saves lives, screening saves time, screening saves money. It's going to be a big push to get providers, hold them responsible for ordering these screening scans. This network will use these resources, will educate our communities and kind of pull that together, right? So anybody can get access to this information. Besides that, we're going to take on one of the biggest projects. What we're going to do is we're going to implement our own screening process at ECU, with partnering with ECU Health in Eastern North Carolina. Already started that, meeting with a lot of the radiologists and the physicians there, community leaders, to try to garner some information to hopefully create the first pilot in North Carolina for lung cancer screening, a general pulled together screening. So it'll be very impactful. Hopefully I can come back again next year and really keep talking and updating everybody about the progress we've made. But already since 2023, it's just been an incredible ride. So super excited to present this. Can't do it without our partners and sponsors and our team. Appreciate it.
How many of you have ever led a committee? Led a committee? Okay, you brave people, yes. A committee, leading a committee is just an awesome job, and it takes all the character, all the leadership skills. It takes tenacity and cajoling, and the person I'm going to recognize has been all of that and more. Why do we recognize committee members? Number one, it really is within the DNA of this organization. If you don't have a good committee, you're probably not going to have a great event. And great committee leaders just absolutely bring alive the passion, the values, and they make it into action. So this award recognizes the time, energy, the support given by a committee member who is exceptionally dedicated to supporting the mission of the committee on which they serve. This year's committee member of the year had a vision several years ago, his own vision, and he shared it with us and with others, saying, let's create an event in the greater Greenville area that would unite the lung cancer community and connect those in need to support and resources. Now, entering its third year, the Greenville Lunge Forward 5K event has strengthened a network of support and brought new advocates in that really includes local businesses, volunteer groups, and many more. This year's awardee has really inspired in so many ways our local communities, his vision and passion, including all of us here in LCI. He's really an extraordinary individual, and to know him is to like him. I'd like to announce, it's my pleasure to announce Tom Kleeneck as this year's committee member of the year. Let's give him a round of applause.
Oh, Jim, that's some kind words. I feel a little bit bad. I wasn't ready to give a talk. But with that being said, hey, my story is pretty simple with the Lung Cancer Initiative. I do what I do with the Lung Cancer Initiative because I love the Lung Cancer Initiative. I found the beauty of what this organization does. And as we know, when you love something, you'll do whatever it takes to make it successful. And that's where I'm at with the Lung Cancer Initiative. The other thing I would like to do is just be thankful and grateful. This is a journey. This is a great organization to be a part of. I think I heard right that Amy's not here.
She can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So Amy, wherever you're at, I want to thank you first. I met you 17, 18 years ago at a lung cancer display. Your vision created all this, and I'm just glad to be part of it. I certainly enjoy what we do on Saturday mornings in Greenville, North Carolina. The second person that I would like to thank is Paige. So we know how great Paige is. It's hard to do her job, and she does it with a whole bucket of niceness and kindness. There's a lot of great leaders out there, but those two things, what you do, Paige, that niceness and kindness, that's hard to pull off. And I just love being part of your organization. Is Sandy here? Okay, Sandy's not, so I'm 1 for 3. Not bad. For baseball, I'd still be part of the starting team. But listen, I know you shouldn't have favorites, but Sandy is my favorite. She's the one that I work directly with that Greenville race. I was in the military about 20 years ago. If Sandy was in the military, she would be a drill sergeant. It's true. And that's a beautiful thing because when it comes to trying to raise money and get runners, that's not an easy thing to do. So I certainly appreciate Sandy also. How many people we have from Greenville? Any Greenville people? I guess everybody got stuck in the weather. Okay. Hey, that Greenville, North Carolina committee, it's a great committee. We, as no surprise, we have survivors over there. We have lung cancer patients. It's a great medical community. If you think about it, a couple of years ago, there wasn't a race in Greenville, right? There was a race in Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh. And it was time to do something in Eastern North Carolina. Is Adam here by chance? So Adam came up here and gave a talk a couple of years ago, and he had to retire from the police department. I was like, wow, that's a huge sacrifice what he had to do. And I was sitting like in the middle of the room right there. I was like, I know that the Lung Cancer Initiative wants to start a race. And I also knew that I was going to be part of it somehow. And after Adam got done talking, I was like, if he's willing to sacrifice what he's done, I can certainly sacrifice my time. And so I want to reach out to Adam. We kind of started this process. And when I told Sandy, hey, what about a race in Greenville? She called me that following Monday and we got things done. So that Greenville, North Carolina committee is a beautiful thing. And the last group I want to thank is AstraZeneca back there. This is a people business at the end of the day, as we know. And some of those people I've worked with for 7, 8 years. If you think about everybody in this room, this is a people business. We're all here trying to take care of lung cancer patients. So I appreciate this, but the real reward is what I get to do with the Lung Cancer Initiative. So thank you.
I am Jenny Denai, Chief Mission Delivery Officer, Lung Cancer Initiative, and thank you all for being here today. I get the pleasure of introducing our 10-year celebration for our Research Fellows program. And I was here and remember 10 years ago when we started this. And it's just very exciting to see how far our researchers have gone, and what better way to save lives than to fund research, and that's why we do it. And so we have this short video just to let you hear more about this program and its impact.
Hello, I'm Amy Seapow, and I have the pleasure of serving as president of the board of directors and one of the founding members. The Research Fellowship Program awards up to $25,000 grants each year at the 5 major cancer centers here in North Carolina. The idea is to hopefully help them to jumpstart their career and allow them to go on to receive additional funding at higher levels, for example, from NIH grants. We know that the fellowship program is critical as lung cancer receives a very disproportionate amount of federal funding for research compared to other cancers. These funds allow the researchers to get started and in many cases go on to receive greater funding and allow them to get into and hopefully stay in the field of lung cancer.
Providing funding for early career researchers is so important. We have lots of doctors who become very clinically capable and they're become experts in lung cancer treatment, but if we really want to take it to the next level, we want to encourage them to perform research that will not only propel their career, but move the field forward. I always felt like, as someone who is a little more on the senior side than on the junior side, that it was our job, our duty to mentor these young folks and essentially get them ready to replace us, the dinosaurs. And so anytime they can submit grants, receive funding, and conduct their personal research in the field of lung cancer, this is going to benefit not only that person, their colleagues, their institution, but most importantly, it's going to benefit the patients in the end.
In our 10 years of funding this Research Fellows program, we know that it works. We've funded fellows who've gone on to receive career development awards from us, as well as additional major grants from other institutions. Many have gone on to pursue successful careers in the field, and excitingly, we have some of those who are now serving on our board of directors and scientific advisory committee as well.
This was such a pivotal experience for me to really become a clinician scientist. And now, 4 years later, I'm on the tenure track. I'm conducting numerous large-scale studies, evaluating aspects of cancer care delivery across not just lung cancer, but multiple cancer types for groups and individuals who are underserved. I'm very much committed to this career path as a cancer care delivery researcher, improving delivery of high-quality cancer care, especially to those that have been historically underserved. And really, the LCI Research Award was the first cornerstone, the first stepping stone in this journey.
I remember it being very important for a couple of different reasons. One is that when I got it, I think for the first time, I really felt like a true lung cancer researcher, lung cancer specialist, and it really pulled me into kind of the lung cancer community, particularly here in the region, but also even more broadly, and really made me feel part of something bigger when it came to lung cancer. You know, I was able to take that confidence very early in my career and collaborate with others, and we were able to get a LCI V Foundation grant a couple years later.
Funding is really key to our project as it involves lab-based experiments in addition to patient sample collection and chart review. By providing funding, LCI is giving a great opportunity for someone that's interested in this field. I also feel this is a wonderful way of helping lung cancer patients and giving back to the cancer community as a whole.
Up until 2014, we had been funding research through other partner organizations, and 10 years ago, we started our own research programs. The approach was to start with research fellows and then be able to provide higher level career development awards and ultimately innovation grants as well. Dr. Jennifer Garst was instrumental in helping to define this program based on her extensive experience and background and passion in the field, and we are so thankful for her guidance.
You know, I'm really proud of some of the people that we've mentored over the years. We've built junior faculty and community-based oncologists into lung cancer experts, and that really requires a team approach. It requires good mentorship, a strong clinical environment, but also opportunities for growth. And that's the vital, important part of the Lung Cancer Initiative, is to continue and grow these fellows, these trainees, into lung cancer experts so they can treat the next generation of patients who will come down with this disease. And so I just want to congratulate the Lung Cancer Initiative on 10 years on the Research Fellows Program. I've been honored to be a part of that and help serve on that board as well.
Thank you. We are so fortunate to have so many experts, some of whom you saw on the screen in the video, that are a part of our organization. And one of them, Dr. Neil Reddy, who's coming up here, not only does he save lives in his daily life with lung cancer patients as a medical oncologist, but he's also on our scientific advisory committee as our chair. And he has agreed and signed on to be our first ever chief scientific officer. And so we are very excited and just thankful for his support and his expertise.
Thank you very much. It is very hard to get started in a career. Think about applying for your first job. You know, experience required or desired. Or how do you get the first job? You need the first job to get the experience. Research is very similar. To apply for a grant, usually you need preliminary results. How do you get preliminary results if you don't already have funding? For the National Institute of Health, applying for a grant now, the approval line and these are all excellent submissions. The approval line is down around 7 or 8% of submitted grants to actually get funded. So particularly for a junior person, it is really hard to get going. So these grants that basically get junior people going with a good idea. They just have to have a good idea that is feasible and plausible and has a chance to work, that gets them going. And this takes people who have a good idea, have enthusiasm, a lot of energy, and a desire to be involved in lung cancer research, and sets them on the track to potentially be an effective, successful lung cancer researcher. And we already have proof that this works. We have numerous people who have received the fellowship award and have gone on to academic careers with independent funding. And even though folks, not all people go on to do that, it involves these people, investigators, MDs, PhDs, and others in the lung cancer community. And if they are primary or an oncology clinician, it inspires them to do lung cancer research and will support the effort. So this is really critical, and it's one of the things that I'm most proud of, that we're able to give a chance to the junior people, fellows, or faculty members to get support. And as Jeff Clark, who we saw here, indicated, It really gives people confidence and inspires them that they can be successful and gives them the opportunity to go on and make the breakthroughs that ultimately have the potential to lead to better therapies and outcomes for people and their families with lung cancer. So I think it's been a huge effort, started with Jennifer Garst and others who worked on the grant, the different fellowship program grant, the grant that's a career development grant, innovative grant, but it's all the community through LCI that has raised the money and the energy that has allowed this to happen. So this has been a huge success for the entire group. So I think that I'd like to see everybody give an applause to the entire group to be able to do this, to inspire young people to be successful and give them the opportunity. So now I have the honor of presenting the Healthcare Professional of the Year Award. So for healthcare professionals taking care of patients and their families with lung cancer, it's challenging. It's hard. And I often feel like I come up short for a lot of different reasons. Because you want to give to the patients and their families, but you also have a family at home potentially and other things. So it's hard. It's hard. The energy, the time, and everything. But some people really go above and beyond. And really dedicate themselves to giving of themselves beyond just scheduling the appointments, understanding, explaining the therapy, responding to needs to control symptoms and other things. To take the time to talk on the phone, to take the time to explain things, talk about family, talk about feelings, and what comes next, the unknowns. There are a lot of difficult things to discuss. And it's a lot of energy and a lot of emotion and a lot of effort. So I have the honor of presenting this to Jennifer Tenhover, nurse practitioner. And I want to talk for a minute about Jennifer. So there are many things that would qualify Jennifer for Healthcare Professional of the Year. So certainly one is that she has put up with me since January 2007. That's probably enough, But she began her career at Mass General Hospital as a nurse practitioner working in the lung cancer group there, a internationally prominent lung cancer group. After a brief stint in general oncology, mostly because her family was young, she came down to North Carolina and has worked in the lung cancer program at Duke. Since the time that she's been there, she has been exemplary in caring for patients and their families, spending the extra time, the extra effort, talking. When we're in clinic, things might be running behind, and I'll turn to Stephanie and I'll say, well, where's Jennifer? So she's been talking. The talking is important. And that's time well spent to talk about all the issues, the feelings, the concerns, the worries, the needs. I can't think of anyone who better exemplifies making that extra effort, going a little bit further, going above and beyond than Jennifer. In the care of the patients, or the other healthcare professionals she worked with, supporting clinical research, all of it. So it's my honor to present this to Jennifer. Jennifer will come up.
Yes, I've worked with this man for 19 years, but we do it for the people that we care for. And we have 3 of them here, Clarabelle, Dana, and John. So I want to give the applause to them. Thank you.
Been giving this lady applause several times tonight, Cheryl LaCroix. So it is my pleasure to invite Cheryl up to share a little bit with you about our Survivor program and to present our Survivor of the Year Award.
Well, I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight.
excited to be surrounded by so many amazing survivors that I've come to know and love. So just, I'd love to recognize the survivors in the room. Would you please stand up and let us celebrate you? Been here for a year. I can't believe it's been a year, and I can't believe it's only been a year since we have done a lot of amazing work together. And I'm just so excited to be here and to share the work that we're doing. And there's more to be done. I have been working with survivors for 13 years, and about 8 of those years with Lung Cancer Initiative. There are more survivors to reach in the lung cancer community, and it is my initiative with supportive survivors and practitioners to reach more lung cancer survivors as they are diagnosed. And so at your place, you will find cards that is kind of a personal welcome to survivors to LCI. You'll have one of those at your place, and then there are stacks of these out at the registration table. So if you could take these cards, share them in your community, at your places of work, at your medical centers. So help us get the word out of the good work that we're doing at LCI. And we continue to seek more ways to provide support and more survivors, and we're excited for 2025. These are just some of the things that we're doing in 2025. So we have survivor networking opportunities. We're looking for more ways to get survivors together, to be connected as a community. This afternoon, we had a survivor social. We are looking for any opportunity through our events and through pop-up events to get survivors together to keep the community strong, because we know that together we're stronger and you're not alone. And so we're really enjoying getting a close, tight-knit community of survivors together. We do offer survivor luncheons in person and virtual. We have Survivors Day celebration, peer-to-peer connections, to let survivors again know that they're not alone. So when we meet someone who could benefit from knowing another survivor with a similar story, we're connecting survivors and really growing that community and that support. But do mark your calendars for Family Day, April 12th in Raleigh. And then our Survivor Steering Committee, another amazing thing we're doing in the survivorship program. So I'd love to ask our Survivor Steering Committee members to stand. Thank you so much for the work. You are the voice for the things that we're going to do for survivors. We want the survivor voice to be represented so that we hear you and make our programs relevant for what we offer. And then this year, new partnership in MUSC in Charleston. We are moving our survivorship programs to South Carolina, and some other partnerships on the horizon in Spartanburg and other places. So we are expanding to support more survivors. And of course, the Survivor Wellness Retreat. Survivors, mark your calendars for September 12th through the 14th. This is going to be out at Camp La Tida in Raleigh, and the applications will open on June 1st. So of course, I met LCI through Wind River Wellness Retreat, where we offered the retreat to lung cancer survivors for 6 years in partnership. And I'm so excited to have joined LCI now and grateful to Wind River for helping us establish the framework for these awesome retreats. If you've attended a retreat in the room, raise your hand. That's the family. We're all family. This retreat offers evidence-based integrative practices to help survivors relax, recharge, and just have fun. You know, there's that moment of joy that sometimes we forget when we're in the throes of the cancer treatment and all the things that we have to do. So this gives survivors a chance to step out, to reconnect with nature, to connect with one another, and just find joy in that moment. And we have a good time doing it. So survivors, our vision is that you do not have to do this alone. If you're here and I haven't met you yet, find me before you leave tonight. I would love to know you. And I'm just really excited that you're here. With that, I get the pleasure for offering the Survivor of the Year Award This award recognizes someone who has been diagnosed with lung cancer who has used their journey to support others as a source of inspiration and hope. This year's recipient consistently encourages other survivors to persevere through tough times, offering strength and hope when it's needed the most. From serving on LCI committees, including the Survivor Steering Committee, Charlotte and Triangle Lunge Forward Committees, to telling her story during Lung Cancer Awareness Month to raise awareness about the importance of lung cancer research. This year's Survivor of the Year shared her journey to impact countless others and is an incredible friend, a steadfast source of support, and an invaluable volunteer. It's my pleasure to announce this year's Survivor Award goes to Sonia Arista for this lady that I learned to do what I do. She's my mentor, she's my friend, and she's my angel. I speak for a living, but this is different. Coming out and share my story. Cheryl said, share with everybody why you do. So rather than just, I want to read because it's easier. So y'all know my name is Sylvia, and I stand before you today not just as a three-time stage 4 metastatic lung cancer survivor with a ROS1 mutation, but as a testament of the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit. Yes. It has been a long, challenging journey. I'm on my 5th year with 3 recurrences. One that has taught me invaluable lessons about life, hope, and the power of giving back. From the very beginning, I refused to accept that cancer would dictate my life or determine my fate. I faced stage 4 lung cancer head on, undergoing the Pacific trial with Levine. It took many rounds of SBRT, 38 rounds of regular radiation, 8 rounds of chemotherapy, and an entire year of immunotherapy, all while navigating the challenges of the world in grip of a pandemic. There were days when the weight of it all felt overwhelming, but I held on to the belief that I could write my own story. During my treatment, my interactions with the outside world were very limited. It was in this isolation that I found a new purpose, giving back to those who cared for me. My caregivers, nurses, doctors became more than just a medical team. They became my lifeline. I wanted to show my gratitude in every way I could, whether it was through a simple thank you note, flowers, a warm smile. Each act of kindness was a reminder of the incredible humans I was fortunate to have on my side. I dreamed of ringing the bell, the symbol of triumph over cancer. And when that day finally came, I felt a wave of emotions wash over me. I've had the privilege of ringing many bells since then. Each one representing not just my victories, but also the courage of countless others who have walked this path. We have many survivors here. Even in the chemo room, I made it a point to put a smile on the faces of fellow survivors. I discovered that lifting others up, I too was uplifted. The connections I forged during those moments became a source of strength. It was a beautiful reminder that even in our darkest times, we can find light through community and compassion.
Reflecting on the past 5 years, I can honestly say that my journey has been nothing short of amazing. You may wonder why I feel this way. It's simple. Without the difficult moments, I would never have had the honor of meeting so many incredible individuals like you in this room. Dr. Milam is not here today. She is my other angel. Each of you has played a role in my journey, inspired me to keep pushing forward and to give back. Thank you to the Lung Cancer Initiative for allowing me to share my story and for presenting me with this incredible recognition. It is an honor to be here among such dedicated and passionate individuals. Together, we're not just fighting cancer. We're creating a community of hope, support, and resilience. Thank you all for being part of this journey with me. Let's continue to inspire each other and make a difference in the lives of those affected by cancer.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us and sharing your journey with us. You continue to inspire us at Lung Cancer Initiative. And I'm just so grateful that you're a part of our network. And so now, Sonia and Cheryl have mentioned the Charlotte Lunch Board Committee, and it's my absolute pleasure to introduce Rachel Leonard. She chairs that committee, and they support each other, and they really are a family, this group, and that's thanks to Rachel and all that she does to support everybody that's part of that group. So Rachel is going to present our Caregiver of the Year Award.
This year's recipient, this award is given in recognition of the compassion and devotion of someone who takes care of or who has taken care of an individual diagnosed with lung cancer. This year's recipient has been fierce in her dedication to raising awareness and funds to support lung cancer research and education. After the loss of her husband, she became a staunch advocate for lung cancer awareness. As a member of the Charlotte Lunch Board 5K committee, her team, Jammin' Joggers, dominates as our top fundraiser. This year's recipient has been a source of support and hope for others who face similar challenges. It is my absolute pleasure and honor to celebrate Pam Warren as this year's Caregiver of the Year. I invited my son Andrew and his wife Maddie to join me here. They've stood beside me this entire time, and they give me strength, and I'm grateful to have them in my life. So I wanted them to join me this evening. The lung cancer community has just been an amazing gift to me. Shortly after my husband Jim lost his battle with lung cancer, I reached out to Elizabeth Hess. She was a nurse navigator at the Levine Cancer Institute. I was eager. She was a wonderful support to Jim and I throughout this treatment. I was eager to raise awareness regarding lung cancer, and I'm still trying to process what had happened. Knowing Jim's history, my husband's history as a runner, and that at one point during his treatment, he had hoped to participate in the Lunch Board 5K. She suggested that I join an upcoming committee meeting for the run. Initially, I just mostly listened, but I was immediately amazed by an inspirational group of survivors, family members, caregivers, and medical professionals, all dedicated to battling lung cancer. Becoming connected to this committee and the Lung Cancer Initiative community has offered me a place to learn, process, advocate, and educate, all in an effort to honor my husband's brief but very courageous battle. I'm forever grateful to my family, especially my son Andrew and his wife Maddie, who have continuously been by my side, as well as all of the people that I've met through my involvement with the Lung Cancer Initiative. You too have become like family, helping me grow, always offering me compassion and understanding, and giving me a sense of purpose. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all you do to raise awareness and education too. And I really do think your team has the best t-shirts, the tie-dye t-shirts. I love them. As I said, this is all about celebrating our volunteers, and I just want to give you a few highlights of the things that you've helped to do this year. Sandy's not here tonight. She would do this better than me, but we're so excited about what we were able to raise through our fundraising events last year. And those are all led by committees. Last year, our events raised $722,000, and that's those events listed right up here. We had 2,500 attendees there. We can't do this without our committees, our wonderful Charlotte committee, our Triangle committee, our Greenville committee, our Greensboro committee. You know, they make all these things happen, and you all are on many of those committees, and I just want to say thank you to you. This is all the committees that comprise Lung Cancer Initiative, and they certainly lead a lot of our events, as I mentioned, but we have committees that lead us programmatically too. We have our Scientific Advisory Committee, our Access Committee, our Provider Education Committee, and again, you all give your time very selflessly to help guide our programming and to help us reach more patients and families that we serve. So if you serve on a committee, I would love to invite you to please stand so we can give you a round of applause. We are very grateful for all of you. And I just want to point out that last year we had 803 volunteers. That's what it takes to do a lot of the things that we're talking about tonight. And Jim mentioned our interns at the beginning of the night, but we had 11 interns last year. Our internship program is very strong, and we encourage you, if you know college-age students that might be interested in giving back, please connect them with us. We rely on them, and they do a lot of the work that helps make things like tonight possible. We need your help. So if you're not volunteering, regardless of what skill set you have, what passion you have, there's a role for you here at Lung Cancer Initiative. Reach out to me. You can reach out to Alicia Patel. She leads our volunteer program. We'd love to tell you more about the different opportunities and the needs that we have. But no matter what your interests are, we do have a place for you at Lung Cancer Initiative. And with that, it is my pleasure to invite Alanis Menezes up. Alanis has been here at the annual meeting several years in a row. She actually inspired our junior volunteer program. And she was our very first junior volunteer, and she showed us what young volunteers can do, the power of young volunteers. Alanis has, again, helped develop our program. She's also shared information and raised awareness among her peers. So I'm thrilled she's here tonight to present our Junior Volunteer of the Year award. I will say our recipient, unfortunately, lives in Eastern North Carolina, so while she physically can't be with us tonight, she's live streaming and she can hear everything we're saying.
Hi everyone, I'm honored to present this award because, as Paige said, our junior volunteers here at LCI are the future of lung cancer advocacy and awareness. So this award recognizes the impact, dedication, and generosity of young adults 18 years and younger who give their time freely to support the mission of the Lung Cancer Initiative and make a remarkable impact on the lung cancer community through their efforts. This year's recipient made a significant contribution to the Greenville Lunch Forward 5K through her on-campus promotions and fundraising efforts at ECU. Even on a rainy day, our Junior Volunteer of the Year continued smiling and stepped up to provide support, leadership, and positivity that helped the event be successful despite the challenging conditions. This year's Junior Volunteer of the Year is Bailey Skeen.
We will be getting Bailey's award to her in Greenville very soon. Thank you, Alana. Now it is my pleasure to bring up the newest member of our board of directors, Dr. Brad Eicher. We actually announced that he was joining our board of directors at this meeting last year, and he has really jumped in and shown us, you know, the power of a passionate volunteer. So we could think of no one better to introduce our volunteer of the year this year than Dr. Eicher.
Thank you for having me. It's been, like we said earlier, I can't believe it's been a year, right? And I think we've done a lot of wonderful things, and we have so many more wonderful things to do. And once again, would not be able to do it without the smiling faces that you see at the table today. So we're really glad. I have the pleasure of introducing the Volunteer of the Year. And this award recognizes the impact, the dedication, and generosity of someone who gives their time freely in the support of the mission of the Lung Cancer Initiative. And whether they're talking to people in the drive-through line at Chick-fil-A, approaching large corporate donors for major sponsorships, this year's Volunteer of the Year has an unwavering commitment and passion for raising awareness and funding for lung cancer research. His efforts are deeply personal as he honors his son's story, which he also shared at last year's Triad Lunch Forward 5K, where he was also a top fundraiser. We'd like to congratulate Fred Gearkey for the LCI Volunteer of the Year.
But yeah, my son was diagnosed 2 years, February, what was it, 14th? Cheer up. Thank you for cheering up before me. But Chris was 35, never smoked, and was diagnosed. He went to Levine. His home base was Wake Forest. Dr. Petty was a wonderful man. Went down to MD Anderson. We, like many other people with cancers or diseases, it's a battle. Not only to get better, try to keep your spirits up. Just the medications are so rough on the body. And many times I thought I was going to lose Chris. He has a 4-year-old, almost 4, will be 4 in July. And but he's doing well now. In 2 years, like I said. And he has NED, they call it no antibiotics. Really happy about that. I have a neighbor, Roxanne, she's 35, has a 1.5-year-old, 2-year-old now. She has stage 4 lung cancer. Chris was stage 3, she's stage 4. She had to battle her insurance company. They would not pay for her treatment. And it just floors me at that. And I guess that's why once I heard more of this and I had to deal with it with Chris, I said, I being an engineer, I can't be a doctor. Thank God there are good doctors and people doing research. And I know it takes money. And especially in today's climate, people are going to have to donate more. It's unfortunate that lung cancer has that stigma. And I had people actually tell that to me when I was asking them for donation. They shouldn't have smoked. And I literally looked at one lady and go, that is very heartless. I said, you haven't progressed as a human if you don't have empathy. And it just, and that's why I said, maybe I'm not going to be good at this raising money. But, there are a lot of good people. And by going and not being shy, and I am shy, to be honest with you, to ask them, I have a son, I have a neighbor, I have another neighbor, I have a friend from high school. She knows somebody that's 15 that has lung cancer. And, but then when you start talking to them, a lot of them have stories. Well, my mom, my dad, my brother, my neighbor had it. And, I always say that, again, it would take money to find a cure, and things are getting better, I believe. I mean, I met John, he's a 10-year survivor, and I love meeting people who have, 5, 10 years under their belt. I think there's one lady I met at one of the runs that I think she was 21 years. And I was like, wow, I love hearing that. I'm trying to, how do I get out of this now? But, again, thank you, I'm honored. I want to raise more. I would love to see everybody here, not be shy, ask for donations, What can they say? No. That's all it takes, no. It's going to take a lot of money. But thank you so much, I appreciate it. Thank you for tearing up for me, I guess the young lady who's thank you.
Congratulations, Fred. We appreciate your passion and all of your advocacy. It is now my pleasure to introduce Justin Brian Nicholson, who's going to present our very last award tonight. And I'll say Justin Brian and his wife Angela, when we looked at that list of committees up there, they served on most of those committees, but we're very honored to have both of their leadership in our organization. And Justin serves on our board of directors, and he is going to present our second Impact Award this evening.
Thank you, Paige. And it's a great year for our organization when we get to do 2 different impact awards because it's been that amazing of a year. So that's worth noting. And this one in particular is a great honor for me to get to present as a survivor who fought alongside Jody. So This year's second impact awardees have raised more than $250,000 so far in memory of Jody Koviak. Organized by Jody's husband Sanjay, the first event in 2021 brought together more than 200 participants and raised more than $25,000, ultimately limited only by the logistical size of the venue. What an amazing freshman rookie season there. And then last year's event united more than 700 community members who raised more than $90,000. This annual event is led by a special group of Jody's close friends and family, and the love of community and support for others is always present at the Jody 5K. The success of the event stands as a testament to Jody's impact on those she touched and their timeless effort to honor her memory. Every committee also has, a leader and many volunteers, and we have a few people from the Jody 5K Run and Walk Committee, and I believe there's a video of a few things to say.
Sanjay is one of the most generous people that I have ever known. Between buying excessive candy and pairs of socks for my kids and ordering every single appetizer that is on the menu to share at dinner. To be honest, Jody was not always on board with all of Sanjay's generous splurges. While we were all grateful for the alcohol that he funded at the PTA auction, Jody was a little bit wary. She would probably not purchase all of the commemorative cups for the race that we do in her honor, but I know that she appreciates what Sanjay has created here and how he has channeled his generous spirit into this cause and this event. Jody was so lucky to have Sanjay as her partner through her cancer journey. And now others who are facing this overwhelming diagnosis are lucky that Sanjay continues to support them through LCI. Thank you, Sanjay.
Hey, Sanjay. Thanks for all you do to help support the good work of LCI. It is an honor to be part of the Jody 5K team, and we definitely could not do it without you.
Sanjay, I just wanted to say a big thank you for everything that you do to make the Jody 5K a success every year. Running with Jody was one of my very favorite things to do in the world, so I love it that we can honor her in this way and at the same time raise much needed money for lung cancer. So thank you, love you, let's keep it up.
Hey Sanjay, congratulations on this very well-deserved honor. It has been such a joy and a privilege to work with you on growing the Jody 5K, and I just appreciate having you in my life. You bring so much love and light, so much Sanjay to everything that you do, and I've watched you turn something so difficult into something very beautiful that has brought an entire community together. So thank you for all of your hard work, and cheers to you.
That was not fair. I have a tendency to wear my emotions on my sleeve, so bear with me. There are two things that I really learned throughout the journey, and the first is multiple things are true at the same time, and it's kind of this weird realization. You're going through something that's very challenging, painful, but also there's hope, there's light, there's love, and those are things that, you start to celebrate. And that was something that helped guide us through, all of it. It's interesting. Sonia mentioned the pandemic. The worst time to have a terminal illness is the pandemic. But also the best time to have a terminal illness is actually a pandemic. And the reason for that was just how Jody was able to spend time with our children and each other. I'm an ER physician, so I actually sort of separated from that family for a little while, which was challenging in another way. But at the same time, the other thing you realize is you're never alone. It's a challenge, I see that word a lot, but cancer is one of those
disease processes that there's an individual who is facing the treatment, the ups and the downs. But at the same time, you're surrounded by people who love you and are able to pick you up and to hold you. And that's all these people are here. So this award is really more about them. I don't know that I tell them enough how much I love them. But we couldn't do this in Jody's honor without all being together. Fred, I'm gonna have you come help me get some donations. Really good at that. I was looking through the list of the other thing here is sort of Gary Glenn Ross. Like when you start doing, Tom might appreciate this too. Right? Once you start organizing a fundraiser event, it's sort of the forefront of your mind all the time. You're like, oh, that might need to ask that person. So Jody, when I saw the list of pharmaceutical companies here, I was like, oh, Jody was on PEM. She did Mobo. She did Emmy. So it might be coming to find you guys. Just to say. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much time, but you're never alone, and this team has supported us and really honored Jody. And I really miss her. But when you have something like this, to continue our spirit, you can't really. It's amazing for us. So thank you so much. November 9th, 2025. I expect hopefully all of you guys maybe come. But thank you so much. And some of these things here, this is not fair. I would not have had I known what this is happening.
All right, Sanjay. We couldn't let the night go by because Durham runners love their running t-shirts. And what's better than a running t-shirt than a running t-shirt in memory of Jody? And what could be better than that than one signed by all of your loved ones who participated in the first Jody 5K in 2021. We have this where you can take it out of the frame if you want to wear it, or you can leave it like this and hang it on your wall. But we love you, and just a little commemoration from us, number one.
So I thank you so much. And we're going to figure out how to make a little piece of this for all of us. Or possibly rotate it, Let's see. But LCI is an amazing organization. The last thing I'm going to say is that, when you're going through this journey, there comes a time when you realize that maybe there isn't as much, left that you did. And I asked, and we had a conversation, how do you create a legacy, beyond what you've already done, with your life? We have 2 amazing children. That's an amazing legacy. But then how do you potentially, take the things that you love and bring your community together? So I asked her, Jody was not someone who would want to be the center of attention. But I asked her, would you be okay if we did a run? And she said yes. And so, that was what we chose to bring us all together. And it's been amazing, and hopefully it's something we'll be able to continue. But thank you so much, and LCI is an amazing organization, and we will continue to help as much as we can.
Jay, the amazing Jody 5K committee, really appreciate that, and what a wonderful moment to end our program on tonight. So I just have a few final parting thoughts for you. One, on your tables are save the date cards of upcoming events. We hope that we see you again very, very soon. We don't want this to be the last time that we see you for a while. So please do save the date. Let us know if you're interested in attending any of those events. Cheryl also told you about her card. If those cards are on the table, take those and share them with other people that you think might be interested in connecting with Cheryl. I just want to say thank you for spending your evening with us, but more importantly, thank you for being a part of Lung Cancer Initiative. We truly truly are a network of hope in action. So every one of you here are a part of our organization. And I'm grateful for you. And I do hope that we see you all again very, very soon. And thank you. Have a wonderful evening.